Your food has salt in it right now, whether you asked for it or not. It's in your bread, your cheese, the chips you didn't even mean to buy. You didn't have to hunt it down, boil it, trade for it, or bleed for it. You just have it. That was not always true. For most of the time your species has existed, salt was one of the rarest and most valuable substances a human being could get their hands on. And the first time your ancestors actually tasted it on purpose, added to food, deliberately, changed almost everything that came after. So let's talk about how strange that moment actually was. Your body needs sodium to survive. Not as a flavor preference. As a biological requirement. Your nerves fire using it. Your muscles contract because of it. Without enough of it, your cells stop working properly, and eventually you die. The minimum amount your body needs just to stay alive is somewhere around 500 milligrams a day. That's less than a quarter teaspoon. Here's the strange part. Your Paleolithic ancestors weren't getting anywhere close to that from added salt. Researchers estimate the average pre-agricultural human consumed less than a gram of salt a day, mostly just from the meat and plants they ate, not from anything added. Compare that to today. The average American eats around 9 grams a day. Your ancestors were living on roughly a tenth of that, and their bodies were built for exactly that amount. So why does salt taste so good to you? Why do you crave it? Because for nearly your entire evolutionary history, it was scarce. Genuinely dangerously scarce. And a brain that rewards you for finding something rare and biologically essential is a brain that keeps you alive. That craving isn't a flaw. It's a survival instinct with nowhere left to go, because the thing it was built for is now sitting in a shaker on every table on Earth. For a purely meat-eating hunter, this scarcity wasn't a crisis. Blood and organ meat carry enough sodium on their own. Humans, like most carnivores, can survive fine on that. The real trouble started somewhere else entirely. Agriculture. Once your ancestors shifted toward grains and vegetables, something happened that nobody was expecting. Plant foods carry almost none of the sodium that meat does. A diet that used to come stocked with built-in salt suddenly didn't have it anymore. And that's not a minor inconvenience. That's a population-wide physiological problem, playing out over generations, in a species whose brain chemistry was still screaming for something increasingly hard to find. This is where the story gets specific. Around 5500 BC, in what is now northeastern Bulgaria, people at a site called Provadia-Solnitsata figured something out. There were salty springs near their settlement. They started boiling the brine in ceramic pots inside dome-shaped kilns, over and over, until the water burned off and left behind hard cakes of pure salt. One firing produced about 25 kilograms. Within 1,000 years, that same operation was producing 4,000 to 5,000 kilograms a year. Archaeologist Vasil Nikolov, who has led excavations at the site for 2 decades, has called it plainly. At a time like this, salt was as valuable as gold. And it wasn't just useful. It made the town rich. Provadia-Solnitsata is now considered the oldest prehistoric town in all of Europe. 2-story houses. Stone fortifications older than anything else found in that part of the world. A walled citadel built specifically to protect a resource you can now buy for less than $1. Graves at the site show real inequality. Some people buried with gold jewelry and copper ornaments, others with almost nothing. Archaeologists believe that difference traces directly back to who controlled the salt. Now picture what that actually meant for an ordinary person living there. You are not hunting salt. You are mining it, essentially boiling brine for hours over a fire that has to stay lit constantly, in a kiln built specifically for this one job. The steam alone would have been brutal to work in for hours, and at the end of it, you have a small, hard, precious cake of white crystal that someone from 100 miles away might trade you an entire flock of sheep for. This wasn't a seasoning. This was currency before currency existed. Once salt became something you could produce, store, and transport, It stopped being just a biological need and started reshaping how entire societies worked. It let you preserve meat and fish for months instead of days, which meant you could survive a bad hunting season without starving. It let strangers 100 miles apart trade with each other reliably, because salt doesn't spoil and everyone wants it, which is close to the actual definition of money. Some historians even argue the Latin word for money, salarium, the root of the English word salary, comes from soldiers in later civilizations receiving part of their pay in salt. Here's the twist that makes this whole story land differently. The very thing that made your ancestors' lives possible, the addition of salt to a grain-heavy diet, eventually helped drive some of the health problems your body still deals with today. Modern researchers studying isolated hunter-gatherer groups who never adopted a high-salt diet, like the Yanomami of the Amazon and various groups in Central Africa, have found something consistent: dramatically lower rates of high blood pressure, and blood pressure that doesn't even rise with age the way it typically does in industrialized populations. Your ancestors' bodies were calibrated for scarcity. What solved a Neolithic survival problem became, 10,000 years later, one of the quiet reasons your doctor tells you to read nutrition labels. You inherited a body that treats salt like gold, because for most of human history, it basically was gold. Buried in walls to protect it. Boiled for hours to extract it. Traded for livestock. Fought over. A settlement in Bulgaria grew rich and fortified itself because of its 6,000 years before anyone had heard of currency. Somewhere along the way, that ancient craving never got the memo that the scarcity ended. You still light up for salt the same way your ancestors did the first time they tasted a hard white cake pulled fresh from a kiln in Provadia. The difference is, they had to build a walled city to get it. You just have to open the cabinet.